Hello, everyone. Welcome to Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. Tonight, we're doing the unboxing of Kingdom Death 1.5. This is part two of hopefully it's a two-part series. If it goes to another third part, I don't know what to do. I don't think there's that much left to go over. We did not get to go over the monster cards and the book. I think I want to do the monster cards really quick first, just because there isn't too many of them, and I'm not even sure what changes happened. So like I'm looking here and we have the basic action card for the white line. And I'm going to put them side by side. So the one on this one is the new one and this is the old one. Let's bring this camera down a little bit. This is going to get... Let's fix the focus there. All right, so everything's pretty much the same on this. It's just added that new trait, the level 3 trait. This is the air, and they bolded the word sniffs. So nothing major. Let's look at the butcher. So butcher, again, this is this. They added, yeah, it looks like mostly, I haven't seen a change yet that doesn't add that new trait. So nominal, Kingsman. Yep. Looks like that's all the difference between all these. I'm just double checking everything. Make sure there are no other little changes. Oh, Butcher went down. Ah, it did. Missed that. Nothing on there. 12, 15. Yep, that look all the same. Dominoes added. Oh yes, the legendary horns. I did see that. Legendary horns is on here now. That what used to be a card on the in the deck. Now it is one of the cards in there. So that's always in play. It's not sometimes in play. So you can always get the Spear of Longitis. And I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, but that's what I always call it. Everything looks the same on the hand besides the one. They upped the toughness of the Phoenix by 1 on a level 3. And he used to have the +1 evasion, +1 luck. He just has +2 luck now. It does sound like a disease. So that's the only thing different there. Let me just check the other side. I forgot to check that. Yeah, nothing major difference. And the Watcher. So, they changed the Watcher. Let me just see. No changes to the basic attack. So they changed the Watcher here. The Watcher's toughness is equal to the current Lantern Year. They got rid of if the element has records, the monster gets +2 toughness. I didn't even remember that bit. But the life counter... Sorry, I put this backwards. Now he has +2 toughness from records. And then he has 15 life points, where it used to be Lantern Year's -10. So if you fought him in year 20, which you could, he was only 10 life and he was easy. And then it looks like they just reworded the little heal ability on the bottom and added in the Indomitable trait. And they kind of updated the level 1 detail. He does have Indomitable, even though he is only level 1. So, it's technically not all level 3s, because he's weird. Butcher cards. Yeah, we'll do Butcher next. Heal 1d5. Is that what it said? -1 strength token. Oh, yeah, he heals 1d5, so he can heal more now. Butcher, fast targeting. Just word clarification. Oops. Invincible was used to be a 50-50 chance. Now it's a 30% chance that your wound fails. So it's a good change. We always had issues with that stupid thing. So they changed kick. Still same thing as before, but instead of drawing an AA card, it's the Butcher pursues the attacker perform basic attack action. So not as bad. And then instead of having 2 kicks in the game, they replaced the other one with infinite kick, which is the same thing, but it's draw an AI card and it has a cool little picture on the bottom for the kick loop. So that's always fun. And then we have the Death Blow card, which we saw. This is one of the earliest changes we saw of 1.5. Just a critical wound, which added the Butcher Sock. It's the only Butcher hit location with a critical wound effect, thus the only location that can be critically wounded. You gain the Mighty Strike fighting art, which is alright. Nothing super special. Alright, what else do we have? We got Antelope Changes. Let's see. All right, so they reworded this. Instead of saying a bone sickle, it just says sickle. And it's fresh acanthus, not fresh herb, strange resource. So just some clarification on this. And then this is the big change, Dead Antelope, where you now have the choice to go after it, and if you do go after it, you get some. You gain 1 random vermin and 2 random screaming antelope resources before you just fought a level plus 1 level white lion. So if you're going after level 2 screaming antelope, level 3 white lion. But otherwise, it makes hunting the antelope less deadly, because the worst part of the antelope was you had the chance to fighting a stronger white lion. Diabolical was just some text clarification. Just saying you move the monster through and pass survivor if there's no target. Full move forward still. All right, what happened here? So they reworded the failure here. So it says, grasping, tiny hands make rude gestures at you. Startled, you gain +1 insanity and lose your composure. Spend and activate your senses before you can attack. I'm assuming this has to deal with, what if I'm not attacking with a weapon? I'm using my fist and teeth. Doesn't make sense. And then we have another one here, the palette, which changed the failure to giant moss snapshot. If you are adjacent to the monster, you must spend 1 survival directly or suffer 3 brain damage to the arm. So this was, or carrying multiple weapons. This was the whole thing with the bows. But I shot him at range. Like, how did he bite my arm off if I'm like 6 spaces away from him? So all they did on this card for the Kingsman is readjust the picture. They made it, instead of a sideways picture, it's yeah. It looks like I guess he's kind of kicking someone in the head instead of stepping on it. Let's take a look at here. Silent Hell. Him. They just reworded this a little bit. I don't see any major changes. Still looks pretty much the same. It's just some formatting. And the last thing that they added is the Horpulation card, which is the Final Lantern Forensic Light cause bilious anxiety while its energy brightening your lantern, the hairs on your body bristle. Once per round, if you have the death die, you may use one of the settlement's pulse discoveries. See Lantern Research Story event. So we don't know what the story event is, but we saw the first 3 of these actions at Gen Con in the DPK demo, which is if you have it, you get to add a roll to your attack with the red die when you have the death die. Or add 1d10 movement to your move action, or add 1d strength to a wound attempt, and that's after you already try to wound, and you're like, oh, I need like 3 more strength to actually make this work. I could roll a die now. Level 4 is when you gain the death die, you stand. While you have the death die, you cannot be knocked down. It's very cool. And level 5 is gain 1d10 times 2 survival. Ignore your permanent injuries and impairments. You die at the end of the round. So, it's one last hurrah before you die. So that's all the books and everything. So I'm going to adjust this camera real quick, and it's going to kind of be wonky. Oh, that wasn't so bad. Better than last time. All right. So we got the book. We're going to kind of flip through it, see what changes have been made. Not going to go through the whole thing. Was at the end of round or the end of your turn? It is at the end of round. So you live till the end of all the survivors' acts before till the monster goes. So let's see. Got the story event in here. That doesn't seem to have changed. I'm going to skip through the rules. So if you would win before the end of round, you live? I guess so. That's an FAQ question. There's a prototype image in here. I wonder how much of these are prototypes. Oh, this is cool. I think that's new. I'm just kind of skipping through it. I don't... So... We do have the bookmarks here, which are nice. I'm not sure they changed anything here. Still looks pretty similar. Yeah, I don't see anything different here. I'm looking at here. Cancel. Let's move this over so you guys can see. Cancer pigeons. They made it so having a whip gives you +4 to results, which is nice. Harvester still horrible. Yep. Harvester's nothing was changed with it. Everyone still dies via freaking noisy gear. I'm not going to go over these real quick. I'm just looking for a couple of. I see that I think there's some new events in here, but I'm trying to keep them. Where's the Gregalope? I wonder if they fixed the wording on that. I don't remember which event that is. Gregalope. If any survivor has a strategist fighting art, they may corner the Gregalope at a giant stone face instead of giving a chase. Ooh, that's cool. Start Showdown with a level 2. Oh, so you can fight the Gregalope now. That's really cool. And you get 3 extra resources. It's a level 2. And now you add your movement to the roll instead of speed. So that was a corrected thing. So that's very cool. That's a nice little fix. Death Wager looks the same. Looks like they made a little change to the Mad Flies. Survival of the Fittest now saves you from the Feats event if you're all insane. Let's see what else is here. Change the Lovelorn Rock. It's the same. There's this new guy here. All right. So what happens here? So they changed the Gold Smoke Knight with a one-eyed Cyclops Knight who looks pretty cool. But it's a very similar event from what it looks like. They shortened it a little bit, but interesting. All right. I don't know if they changed these tables at all. They look very similar. Armored Strangers. So Birth of the Saviour. So we were talking about Saviors before. All right, so the red one gets +1 permanent red affinity and +1 permanent strength and the following ability. Cardos, before making an attack roll, you may declare Cardos X in a loud booming voice. If you do, that attack gains X automatic hits. X cannot be more than your total red affinities. When the attack ends, gain X Hunt XP. When you trigger age 2, the Beast of Kartos secret fighting arts. So you need to age them up a little bit before you get those really cool fighting arts. You gain 1 additional Hunt XP, and you may not wear other gear. If you trigger the White Secret Story event, you cease to exist. When you retire, you cease to exist. The Green Savior's got +1 permanent green affinity and +1 permanent evasion, so you don't get all those stacking stats every time you age. When you suffer damage, you may declare Dormantus X in a loud booming voice. If you do, gain X to each hit location. X cannot be more than your total green affinities. After the damage is resolved, gain +X Hunt XP. Yeah, you just have to choose by your affinities now. And then at H2, you get your card. And then Life Exchange is the same as the other ones. And then the blue Saviour, you get 1 permanent blue plus 1 permanent luck. And before making a wound attempt, you may declare Lunacy X in a loud booming voice. If you do, that wound attempt gains X luck. X cannot be more than the total blue affinities. When the attack ends, gain plus X hunt XP. So the more affinities you have, the more you can do to it, but it's also going to age you up more. This looks bold, looks about the same. Bone Witch was changed. All right. So the first part of Bone Witch is the same. All non-death returning survivors gain +3 insanity. But the most insane returning survivor or survivors in case of tie are drawn into the Bone Witch and must endeavor. So not the whole party anymore, just one. Whether Jew, the Bone Witch never forgave her exile. Burning hatred lit the dark brighter than any lantern. Jagged teeth and gnarled claws she attacks. You manage to escape, but the wound she inflicts continues to burn. The group may spend 3 endeavors to save you. Otherwise, you die a miserable wail and death. The party survivors are haunted by your terrible death scene. They lose 2 survival and gain +3 insanity. Add Bone Witch to the timeline 3 years from now. So you could spend all your endeavors to try to save the guy. But yeah, that happens. A lot better than before. 3 through 4. The secret of the dark should not be seen. The last thing you see are the Bone Witch's outstretched claws reaching for your eyes. Your eyes are scarred. Roll 1d5, suffer -X permanent accuracy, and gain +X permanent strength, where X is the result rolled. If you gain this result twice, you die. So it's not +4, -4. It's now going to be an average of 2.5. Yeah. And D5. So it won't be as bad. It's still not good. 5 through 6. I think this is about the same. The Bone Witch mutters of a learned embrace of the waiting darkness. Her story stirs strange yearnings in your bones. For being patient, listen. She offers to teach you something for the cost of 1 bone resource. If you spend the resource, gain the extra sense of fighting art and 3 survival. 8 through 10, the Bone Witch whispers of the horrors and wonders she has seen. Arming you with valuable wisdom, gain +2 insanity, +1 understanding, and the Bone Whisper secret fighting art, which is really, really cool. You add your hunt XP to it, and different things happen. It's after you, like if someone dies, you go over them. So it requires someone to die, and you have to eat their skulls, but that's cool. Then you have a 10, and you have the Guidepost Innovation. The settlement has Guidepost Innovation. The Bone Witch wanders over to it. The settlement transfixed by the sense of danger. Effortlessly, the witch plucks the weapon from the ground. Archive the Guidepost Innovation. As consolation, she offers to teach something in exchange for 1 bone. If you spend 1 bone, nominate 4 survivors. They gain the Monster Claw style fighting art. It's a good fist and tooth fighting art. And I think they lowered the resource cost for that. I think it was more than 1 bone. I don't believe anything's changed for cooking. It's all the same. Crush and Devour. Looks similar to what I saw before. And the Scream looks about the same. Not reading that. Actually. Those look about the same. What's this skipping this first story event? Yeah, it's still not. The skip's a little bit better than before, but it's still not great. So Lantern Brandon, they still left the +1 permanent strength for burning your feet. So it still doesn't make complete sense, but that's still there. Oops. Herb exploration looks about herb gathering looks about the same. Let's see. So, Hooded Knight, Twilight Sword. The only thing I see is if he rolls a 10, seize the records, destroy records, and return the invasion deck. If it's a 4+, if you haven't triggered the Watcher, it starts the showdown with 2 less life. Note this on the settlement record sheet. So the Hooded Knight can actually help a little bit with that, but that's not a big boost. Insight looks about the same. I don't see anything new of Intimacy. King's Curse looks similar. King's Step's the same from what I can tell. Lantern Research we're not going to go into. Legendary Lungs looks the same. They added in the new trait to all of these guys. And I think they might have added some more text in here that these are once, yeah, each legendary monster may only be defeated once per campaign. They are singular special monsters. Mineral Gathering. All right, so they fixed it so you don't automatically go insane when you go to Lantern City. And if you have the All-Mac, you get +2 to results, which is nice. Oh. So they got rid of Frail on the weapons. But then they put in here that there's a 50% chance that you could still break your pickaxe when you roll a 6 or 7. So that's not great. Interesting. So at the 10 here too, you meet a stranger with 1 massive eye, so you meet the same guy. So I wonder who the One-Eyed Cyclops is. Oh, they look. This has changed. So Overwhelm the Darkness. Insane Survivors. Walk the Path of Insane 1 through 3. You roll that, you're dead unless you spend all your survival. 4 through 6 suffer 1 random damage to each hit location. All survivors suffer that. That's normally 4. 7 through 9, a huge eye stares at you from the darkness. It scares you sane. Set your insanity 1 and get the PTSD disorder. 10 plus, the crab spider you've been traveling with stops to eat a few hissing magnets. Sorry about that. You decide you can't leave your friend behind. Grab 1 crab spider vermin resource. So you get a crab. That's cool. If no other reply, walk Path of the Doomed. Roll a 1. Spend another survival or die. 2. Pail of Doom falls over you. -3 luck tokens for the duration of the showdown. Or gain 3 luck tokens for the duration of the showdown. Thank you, Jim. 3 through 4, you glimpse a nightmare whale swimming overhead. Your heart shrivels. Lose half your survival, rounded down, and gain the PTSD disorder. 5 through 7, you choke on the atmosphere. It leaves you sick and unbalanced. Lose monster level survival and gain -1 evasion. Okay, that's interesting. 8 plus resolve. Gain +1 insanity, +1 courage. Then if you have 3 plus courage, as before, you walk the path of the brave. You find a half-dead survivor covered in translucent moths. Ignore them. Lose 1 courage or spend all your survival to save them, gaining +1 population. So you get actually +1 population on the path of the brave now if you roll a 1, but you need to either lose 1 courage or spend all your survival to save them. So I want to check something on that later when we get to the see the truth. Yeah. Truth is 3. You punch yourself in the face to chase away doubt. Gain -1 accuracy token. 4 through 6. A massive whale swims overhead. Your gut quivers with its booming cries. You vomit in fear, but keep a brave face. Gain -1 evasion token after this event. All our survivors gain +1 survival for your bold display. So if you roll 4 through 6, you can get +1 survival. So if someone rolled bad and rolled a 1 and lost all their survival, it's a way to help them out a little bit. That's really nice. 7 through 9. With your lantern held high, you cut a path through the teeming darkness, suffer 1 event damage to your arms. 10 plus, you emerge from the darkness with a new perspective. Gain the leader fighting art, which is interesting fighting art now. So overall, I think I do like the changes of this. It's nice. It's interesting that 2 people see a whale and then the insane person sees a giant eye. Maybe they think the eye is a whale, or it's the Cyclops dude. I want to say it's the Cyclops dude. Oxidation. Not looking into that. That's something else. The picture looks interesting. Phoenix feather looks about the same. Principal conviction. It's 53 still. I just want to check the event. It used to be the mask collar. I don't know if it's still the mask collar. Yeah, mask salesman. Okay, so you still get to do that. Game +1. Yeah, I don't see anything different. And Bone Witch isn't that bad, so Romantic was buffed. Slow Clip Graves is awesome with the +1 permanent lock option. Early game, that's great. Principal New Life looks about the same. I think they might have changed Collective Toil, the 410. So now it's 3 unknown survivors with ink-stained eyes dragged monster corpse into the settlement. Upon seeing the United Settlement, they offer the corpse as tribute and plead for their lives. Gain +3 population, 2 white iron resources, and 1 skull resource. So I don't think that makes it any better. This looks about the same. Lantern looks about the same. Runaway, I don't see anything really different. Might be. I've never used that table. So with Overwhelming Darkness, you could spend a courage. So that means you could do See the Truth multiple times. I don't see anything different. Showdown for the Butcher. They added in the level proficiency for the axe based on monster level. The hand, it's still the same. It's the fist and tooth thing. Kingsman has a spear. Phoenix has 1 for 2. You normal level 3. You could opt for +2 hunt XP, +2 weapon proficiency, and they up the resources I think a little bit. It's now 4, 4, 5, 7, and 6, 9. That's how you get the Black Lition strange resources through that. By level 3. I don't know if they changed the hunt at all. Not really. I haven't been paying attention to that. Oh yeah, the Black Lition from a level 3-2 for the Screaming Antelope. Barber Surgeon is now locked behind this. Level 2, you get 2 hunt XP, level 2 or 3, and 1 weapon proficiency, so you get a little bit more for hunting that. The same hero for level 2 for the White Lion, 2 on XP. You do not get that Lichen resource for a level 3. And they changed Saga a little bit. It made it once per lifetime kind of thing. I think they added extra sense fighting art to this. I don't think that was there for the Lightning Walkers before. Sword of the Forsaker is kind of pointless now. But looks the same. I don't see anything different with Zero Presence. Watch looks the same. I think they added in this crest, but otherwise it looks the same. Showdown. I think, did it change? There's this blackout thing, which we're not going to look into. The Gold Smoke Knight. Hammer and Nail, I'm assuming that's one of his cards. And then there is... I don't think they changed anything in here, did they? I think the comic's the same. Yeah. Gold Smoke Knight's still in it. Game variants. Not seeing anything different here. We have the glossary, which probably has some changes, but nothing. That's the book. So what else we got? Showed off those before. We do have the new timeline. Nothing very big changed on here. Resource storage, Nemesis monster. You have the monster volume thing on here for the population and lost settlements. It looks like that. Oh man, look at this hot paper action. Hey Amazi, hey Chris, Asmadi. Ugh. We have some new tokens. So we have the reroll tokens. We have this little like quick guide for the settlement phase, and then the priority target token. So it just explains this, and just that. And then we have the new board, which is nice. I don't think besides the special showdown on here now. Punch the tokens. All right, I'll punch tokens second, and then yeah, nothing really changed on the other side. Look at this. We punch out the tokens. Bam. I'm slightly disappointed that these are blank on the other side. But that's the rest of 1.5. There wasn't too much more to go over. Rulebook probably has a bunch of little fixes in it. I'm sure the hunt events are a little bit better. There wasn't major changes from the story events I saw. So anything else you guys want to see before I give this a wrap? All right, so thank you all for joining. It has been fun. I'm going to sign off now. Make sure to join us on Tuesday for our premiere of Season 5 of Twitch Plays Kingdom Death. Make sure to follow us everywhere, do all the cool, fun stuff. So, thank you all. Make sure you join our giveaway. Twist giveaway. Question was from chat. Let me sign off. Thanks all for joining us. If you're watching on the VOD, make sure you join us on Monday for our Twitch Plays Kingdom Death at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have Zach Barish from KDM on with us, and it should be a lot of fun. If you want to learn how to play the game, we'll be trying to do our best to do that. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you're on YouTube and everything. Thank you. Good night.